Okay, lovely.
We are live, and in the house today we have our amazing C2C client, Bex Smith. Bex, how the hell are you?
I am. I'm really good. I'm not melted, so that's a positive.
Always. Thank you for joining me. Yeah, I'm good. I've done quite a few lives over the past 24 hours, so I'm feeling nice and energized and ready to solve problems. You mentioned, I asked obviously everyone who wanted to go live what the problem was, and you wanted to get more people showing up to the workshops, webinars, etc. that you run. Just for context for me, but also for everyone watching or listening, do us a quick 2-sentence summary of what you sell and who you sell it to, if you may.
Yes, that is fine. So yeah, like I said, I'm Bex. My business is Box Solutions. I'm a business coach, and I specialize in helping solopreneurs, mainly like creatives. I'm kind of niching into creatives like web designers, brand designers, interior designers, writers, that kind of stuff. And I really help them with the practicalities of business growth. So everything, sales, marketing, getting visible, all that kind of stuff.
Okay, wicked. And let's talk about the webinars then. So
yeah,
what's your conversion mechanism? Do you typically use the webinar to get people to book a call?
Yes. Yeah. So come to the webinar, and then the ask at the end is always book a sale. Yeah, if you want more of this, let's book a sales call.
Okay. Yeah. And the webinars have always historically done quite well for you for calls, bookings, but it's the audience who we need more people and more attention actually attending.
Yeah, and I think so I've kind of got a pool of people that kind of come to stuff that I do, and I've got my places where when I'm doing a new event, I'll be like, I'll advertise here, I'll let this group know, I'll tell these, all those kind of people, like my email list, that kind of stuff. And I kind of got to a point where I've kind of exhausted. Like, I'm still happy for those people to come, which is obviously fantastic. They want to come. But I've done this session already. The one I'm doing on the 15th of June, I've done already. So most of my people that know me, like they've either been or they're not coming, kind of thing. So I want to get like new eyes, like people that haven't heard of me or haven't done anything with me before. Yeah, like fresh eyes, basically. I've kind of set myself a bit of a challenge on this one, that I want to challenge myself to see how many people can I get to come that I don't know who they are. Like, I don't know where they've come from. Like, I've not done a personal, like, I already know you kind of thing.
Okay, cool.
Makes sense.
You will be familiar with this, but I like to break certain journeys down into BDA, or before, during, after. And rather than just looking at attendance, I think we can look across all three. So before, during, after. I think straight away, before we get into the before and like the attraction and bringing new people in, if people are going to keep coming back, there is still certainly a level of interest there that you can probably capitalize on. So I think we can maybe, if you've already run this session like for like, I think there are 2 things you can probably change out quite quickly that are going to help you capitalize on that existing audience rather than anyone else. So one is just the packaging and the title around it and like the promise. So I'd probably just switch that up. We do, I've got like a series of 4 webinars or workshops that I kind of alternate between, but I just change up the wrapping and maybe like some of the order of the slides. And that's going to bring new people in, or the same people in, but with a kind of fresh mindset without you having to do too much work. So I definitely change the wrapper around it. The second thing during the webinar is change the ask. So yes, book a call, but how do we turn that into a fucking limited time offer that people are really interested in, that piques maximum curiosity, where you call them out and you give them a bulletproof result, potentially with a load of bonuses or incentives to turn up. And just think about those things as well. Now, I know that's not the point of why we're on here, but the 2 things you can change on the webinar that won't be too much work are the wrapper around it. So we just take the same webinar and put it in a different fucking gift box. And then the ask at the end. How do we make it sound more exciting, more like different to something that they've heard before? Limited spots, all these different urgency levers that we can pull. Again, before we get into the before, we've got to think about the after. So I don't know if you were on the session, but when you joined C2C, I did a click to buy journey through a workshop, and I can attribute 69%. That was a 6-figure overall workshop. over a couple of months, I can attribute more than 69 grand to what we did after the workshop. So you really need to think about that. And again, we can split that into two things. We've got personalized or manual, and then we've got automated follow-up. So hitting people on different channels, I've like even just down to the fact that you let someone know Carol has just joined or Jeremy has just joined, shouting them out in your emails and go, there's only X number of spots left if you want this particular offer at this price point before this deadline or expiry date or whatever it is. And that, just those little tweaks are probably going to help quite a bit.
Yeah, and to be fair, actually, it was only a couple of weeks ago that I ran this one last time, and there's probably a bit of that after that I could still do from the last one, to be fair, that I've probably not optimized that properly yet.
Yeah, definitely worth thinking about. I don't know if you're on the session when I broke down that 6-figure workshop, but there was a load of emphasis on follow-up. So it might be worth revisiting that, or ping me a message on Slack and I can send it over to you. The notes. The Notion doc will probably be just as worthwhile as watching the video, to be fair. But yeah, okay. As I mentioned, this is like the 14th live I've done in 24 hours. A lot of them have been with clients. Every single one of them has been with clients. And anything where I've had to go into this mindset of thinking about before, during, after, most of the problems stemmed from the before. So that's what we can look at now. It's all going to be in the prep. And Katie and Vicky called me out on this a while ago. It was like, because we're not doing these sales calls anymore. So like, what's the one point where we convert the most traffic? And it was like, it's the workshops, rather than the DMs or whatever. That's where we convert in bigger numbers. So we need to do more workshops, Chris. I'm like, yeah, makes sense. I was like, but we've done one like every month. And they were like, yeah, but look at the effort levels that went into workshops 2 and 3 compared to the effort and the prep that went into 1 and 4. 1 and 4 performed brilliantly. 2 and 3 didn't. And that was an attendance thing overall. Enough throughput through the funnel, through the journey is going to help. So we need to think about this with a date in mind. You've got 16th of June.
Yeah, 15th of June. Yeah.
15th of June. Incidentally, the exact same time as mine, or the exact same date as
mine.
Is it? So thinking about any campaign, we've got an end date, we've got an anchor. Everything in your marketing from now until then leads people towards that. And then we go into the different channels or how we're going to do it. So 1-to-1 or 1-to-many. So we still need the people that are regular attendees. We still want them there because there's another chance to convert them. The longer they spend with you, the better. So we still want to do that. So we've got 1-to-1 where we might do an email or DM or a call, or it might be face-to-face. I know you go to some events locally. And then we've got the 1-to-many, which obviously we split out into the available channels. So you've got an email list. You're on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Insta?
No, just LinkedIn.
Just LinkedIn. Okay, cool. 20 days, thereabouts, until it happens.
Yeah.
I would literally get out a calendar or I like to do stuff in spreadsheets, but I would be like, right, what's the countdown? All the way to obviously we have to think about the offer that we're going and the ask that we're going to make on the workshop. Let's say that turns it into 25 days. So it's a 5-day expiration all the way until the Friday, the 20th of June, let's say. I don't know if the dates are just...
Yeah, because the 15th is a Monday, so it'll be the Friday, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So that's your open window. That's your actual campaign afterwards, follow-up sprint where we're trying to book and maximize calls. Before then, everything is come to the workshop. And then what I like to do, and not everyone goes into this level of detail, but I will literally put in a column next to the date. I'll be like 7 days left, 14 days to go, 48 hours, etc., etc. And then when you've got that kind of mindset, you'll almost feel the urgency hop out into your content and into your DMs. So you're like, the post that's coming out or the email that's coming out on this day is definitely going to have to reference the time frame. You only have X number of days until this is happening. And you can find different ways to frame that, which we probably won't get into. But having this timeline that you're working to, that you're trying to force your audience to work to, is really helpful. We have to think about time as a concept is a massive motivator. If I said someone's going to set your car on fire if you don't go outside and move it in the next 5 minutes, Bex, you're going to fucking go move the car.
Yeah,
sounds
definitely.
a bit brutal. I hope that doesn't happen now I've said it, but you get the idea, right? If I said it's 5 days, if you don't move it in 5 days, you probably move it on like day 3 or 4. So just being aware that time is a massive motivator and having a deadline will shift bums off seats massively. So we've got this pre and post sequence of events that we need to happen to, 1, make sure people show up, and 2, make sure they book calls. And the before or the pre-stage almost needs to branch out into 2, because I could sign up to your webinar and then you could take me off list 1, which is trying to get me to the webinar. You've achieved that. I've registered, but sorry, list 1 will be registration. And then list 2, once I'm in that registered pool, you still need to make sure that I show up, and I show up excited, willing to give you money or book a call. So there's almost like 3 series of events here that have to happen. So there's objective of registrations. That's 1 barrier down. Then there's objectives, the objective of attendance. And then there's the objective of call booking / follow-up. A lot of that, I think, a lot of the second list needs to be done through email and DM. So one-on-one communication could be automated, could be manual. But they're the 3 pools I think you should start to think about this on. The way I've done well with webinars, and I've by no way like completed them, but is just putting so much focused attention on one thing in the marketing. Okay. So we think about these things that can take place during each of these stages. Well, you could be posting content, obviously. You could be going live. You could be sending an email a day. If we're looking at LinkedIn specifically, you could be dropping articles. And then I will probably, I don't know how well this works because I've not properly tracked it, but it just feels like it could snag a couple of extra people, is set up the event as a LinkedIn event, but with an external link to go and register.
Okay.
And then you can you can invite 1,000 people to that every single week as well. That'll give you the opportunity to DM them and just go, hey, this, just so you're aware, you've registered for the event, but you need to do it on this link.
Okay.
And that's something you could do yourself or get a VA to do. On top of that, there isn't, I don't think, much more aside from running ads or getting other people to cross promote. So we ran a session yesterday in C2C. We asked our clients to invite a friend. That kind of thing, with a referral incentive if that person signs up. Mm-hmm. So you could look at like almost the affiliate introduction style stuff as well.
Okay.
I've chucked a lot at you there.
Yeah, I'm still scribbling.
So if we boil it down to just make it an actionable list. Firstly, reverse engineer the timeline. So you know what has to happen when. Then we're going to look at the 3 phases. So register, attend, and follow up. And just be aware of what needs to go on in your world during those 3 stages. Then we probably want to attach content to the timeline. So this is a post or an article or a live that I'm going to put in on T-minus 48 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
And just being aware of what the CTAs are. So if you think about it, we've gone timeline, objective of each part of the timeline, and then content to match the objective, which matches the timeline.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you can look at your greatest hits as well. So if you've had an email that banged, like really went well and got loads of clicks or loads of calls booked, we might want to reuse that in the follow-up phase in those last 5 days potentially. So maximizing assets that you've already used. One thing I've done, I've done it for both workshops recently that have done well, is schedule LinkedIn articles ahead of time with client results in them.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that as well. I definitely need to do a bit more from an articles point of view, because I do like a newsletter, like a LinkedIn newsletter, but I can definitely do more articles and things like that. Definitely do that.
Well, if you've got the newsletter, send them out through the newsletter rather than a standalone article. Reason being is LinkedIn emails those to people.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'll do that.
So it's not an actual article. It is, but the frame you have to look at it is I publish it within my newsletter. Then anyone that follows me who's not turned notifications off will get an email and a notification within LinkedIn that you've just published this thing. So extremely hooky titles that are going to make people go, what? Like my best performing post of this week was actually an article of me talking about Sandy, and with a little video in there. I was like, how did this Danish copywriter make X amount of money in only 4 months without something you probably hate, kind of thing? Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can do that. Yes, I can do that. Definitely. I think, and as well, I think I can definitely do, I can probably talk to the last group as well, talking about cross promotion, to ask, because the last group I got really good feedback on the last one. So I can probably ask, if I go and talk to those people and say, who do you like, a bit like you did with your session this week, who do you know that would benefit from coming? You came to the last one, you know what it's about. Like, who do you know that would benefit from hearing all of that?
Yeah, I think that would be a great shout. But with an incentive.
Yes. Well, yeah, I can do that.
If they're an existing client, maybe you could give them some extra time or an extra session, or just cash. Like I'd pay a few £100 for someone to get me a client. So
well, that's it. How much would you pay? How much would you pay for a lead?
Yeah, exactly. If you were doing ads, you'd be paying shitloads. So bringing cold people in, who like the person doing the referring obviously turns them warm for you, and then it's just your job to make the ask. Yes.
Okay. Cool. Good plan. Sounds like a good plan. I shall get on.
Yeah, it's all in the prep. That's what I was kind of saying before, what I alluded to. It's like the before, during, after. The during and after will be shit if the effort doesn't go into the before. Pretty much with everything, I'm starting to realize, not just like workshops and webinars. Like if you fail to prep, then you should prep to fail. Yeah.
So I would agree. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. That's a great plan I've got now.
Amazing. You're welcome.
I've got to get busy.
Sit with it. Yeah, get busy, but sit with it as well. And just like some ideas will come to you. It's like, how can you aggressively just go out to your target market and promote the shit out of the best webinar that they are going to see all fucking year?
Yeah.
And you're going to do it continuously from now or from the 1st of June until the 15th of June. After that, we get aggressive on the back end and do the follow-up. Sit with that and get some crazy ideas. Maybe you go live with a client and do some live stuff there potentially, or get them on an interview of some description and use some proof as well. We've got a Q&A call tomorrow night, so sit with it for 24 hours. Any questions you've got, I'm saying this to everyone, like just let it marinate, come on the call, and we'll attack it again once you've had a chance to sit with it.
Yeah, brilliant. I will do. Thank you.
Amazing. You're welcome.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah, wicked.
Chris?
So dead short and snappy, but yeah, there's a lot you can do, I think, to just maximize the front end traffic that comes through.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Brilliant. You're welcome. I will see you soon.
See you soon.